All right, y'all. So Carmelo was recently on Podcast P. Here's what he had to say about why he didn't team up with Wade, Bosh, and LeBron to form a Big Four.
I'm going to keep it a buck. Imagine me at 23 years old, 24 years old, being the fourth option on the team when I'm leading my team every single year. Like, I'm finding my way in this league. And you want me to leave that and go be a fourth option. I don't know mentally how I was going to be ready for that. It ain't got nothing to do with money. I'd have had a different role. I'd have had to figure out my role on that team. These are alphas that we all coming together. Like, Bron is an alpha. D. Wade is an alpha. Don't might give Chris Bosh enough credit. Chris Bosh was ridiculous in Toronto. So for them three to go, I'm like, man, hell no. Like, I can't be that fourth. Hell no.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all think Melo should have considered joining Wade, Bron, and Bosh pretty much to form a Big Four?
I don't know, man. I think he had really good perspective on it.
He did.
He mentioned how he was 24 years old, leading the team and scoring. It would have been different for him to accept the fact that his role would be diminished. And I think that self-awareness is something that we just don't have, not just in sports, but just in general, to understand that if I'm teaming up with Bron, I ain't going to be averaging 25 points per game anymore. I might win a championship, but what's that to me? Melo had his priorities straight from 20 years old. He wanted that bag, and he wanted to hoop, and he did both of those.
I respect the transparency. A lot of times, we get guys going up there saying the political stuff, saying what they think people want to hear. And like I told y'all, the last few years with the offseason and different things, the more I start to understand that the game isn't to win for a lot of people. It's to be comfortable. It's to get these certain personal achievements and then to get that bag. When a lot of times you grow up being taught the game and it's we play to win, team game, different things like that. Sometimes it's refreshing to hear somebody like Melo who everybody, man, I wish you would have got the championship. It's like, he probably wanted a championship for sure, but there was other things that was a lot more important to him, and that's just the way it is. And I don't look at him no different. I'm happy we got the truth.
I'm going to say it, too, because I feel like he downplayed it. He wouldn't have been no fourth option. He could have been first or second leading scorer on that team if they was all teamed up.
Let's say second at the max. He
could have been number one. Carmelo? LeBron could have fit other areas too and been amazing, excellent. Carmelo.
I just want to remind you that in 2012, 2013, LeBron put together one of the 3 greatest seasons of all time.
There's no way LeBron isn't the number 1 option.
No way.
There's no way.
There might be some nights.
Some nights
he would have been number one.
LeBron gonna let him rock some nights.
Regardless, that's not what
Kyrie was number 1 option.
Regardless. He wouldn't have been no fourth option for that team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been no fourth.
Not at his peak. He
but
definitely would have been second.
He would have had to buy into something that would have been way different than what he was accustomed to. And we saw that every team LeBron's been on that had 3 guys, whether it was Kevin Love, whether it was Chris Bosh, somebody's going to sacrifice and it won't be LeBron James.
We've been seeing that with USA.
And Bron ain't wrong. That ain't no shot at Bron.
He's so damn good. I mean, you got to sacrifice. That's why it's like, Melo would never bought into the defensive side of the ball too. Like he would have had to really buy in defensively. Like you saw Bosh transform his whole game. Bosh turned into like he's gonna defend, he's gonna rebound, he's gonna stretch the floor. I don't know if Carmelo would ever have moments where he did that.
D. Wade and LeBron, they would have been playing defense.
Yeah, and that's one knee Dwayne Wade. He was still locking up. They would. I mean, we thought that it was unfair when it was those 3. If Carmelo's in that bunch, I might not have loved the game of basketball.
Yeah.
Honestly, that team would have been so damn dominant that I might not have cared to even watch basketball anymore.
For real? I miss those moments like back then where you got like those big matchups where like LeBron and Melo going toe-to-toe, LeBron and KD going toe-to-toe, LeBron and Kawhi. And then in those matchups, those players defended and they guarded each other. Now, they not guarding each other no more.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way
just got to play smarter, right?
You don't think they were playing smarter back then?
I think that analytics has changed the game enough to know that Steph Curry shouldn't be guarding Kyrie Irving for 48 minutes.
I think it's a lot more specialists, too. I think it's a lot more guys who are like, this is a corner 3-point shooter. Kyle Korver was a shooter. J.J. Redick was a shooter. You just shoot it wherever. Just get it going. Yeah, he want to go to the right side or the left side, cool. But just shoot it. Now it's like, man, no. Darrick needs to be on the left wing right here, and we're going to get him this shot every single time. KB needs to be in the right corner.
Yeah, put me there.
Not too deep, though. 2 steps off. And then now the game was just way different. So, and then you want the value of the guys you're paying. A lot of guys are getting bags. So if we're going to pay you this amount of money, you finna earn it. You finna go guard. You finna guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he's going to give you 40, and you're going to come back in game 2 and have to guard him like that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Versus,
And tomorrow now you got Luka, too.
You know what? I take that back. I would have still loved the game of basketball. You want to know why? Because Melo mentioned that Chicago could have been the place.
Yeah.
And if that was the case, first of all, I didn't even know like how that would even happen because Derrick Rose still on the roster. This is the year before he won his MVP award. So is it a big five then?
I do want to say this,
Rose away?
And I mean this in such a genuine way. Like, I'm tired of hearing about the big three. It happened. It's done. The only one that's still in the league is Bron. It's enough stories.
Me too, brother.
Enough stories. It's like every 2 summers or 3 summers we get another story.
Until
like,
the real documentary come out, I couldn't care less.
Hey man, you know what? You know what else we was gonna do? What? We was gonna click up me, Bron, Wade, Bosh. We was gonna have Phil Jackson coaching, and he was talking about getting Kobe on a minimum. Can you believe that? We was gonna really try to form something that never, like every summer is something.
Every summer is one extra piece to it. One extra piece. Yeah, we were going to go to the Bulls, but they couldn't trade Lou Al. At first, it was we was going to go to the Bulls. Then the season after, it was the Clippers didn't want to take Lou Al. Like, they keep adding pieces on pieces on pieces to be like.
Each person got their own perspective of what was about to happen.
It's so crazy how Chicago's looped in with some of these big names. Like the Kobe Bryant trade didn't go through because like they didn't want to trade up. Well,
Lou Al Deng. He just keeps preventing great teams.
Like there's so many great players that wanted to play for Chicago that the front office just didn't move. They didn't want to move their players.
Yeah, because at that point they're not that far removed from the 90s.
Yeah,
I'm talking about 12 years since the last championship. So yeah, it's still buzzing in Chicago. Now it's been 25 years, and it's like. We suck.
And they still charging you as if they still.
You don't know the feeling as a young Kobe fan thinking he potentially was going to be a Bull.
Yeah,
that was.
He went on radio said that his relationship with the Lakers was over.
Done.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like you won't see that nowadays.
I was waiting,
other than Jimmy Butler and Rachel
every
Nichols,
day to wake up to Kobe Bryant being on a different team.
Yeah,
and it never happened.
Best thing for him though, being a one-time Laker.
It's
an elite class of one-timers. It just doesn't happen.
And had one of the best like closeout games, like last games of your career ever. 60 points
when he was dancing at the free throw line. Yeah, shout out to him.
Real quick, what players would y'all have liked to see team up to go win a championship?
I would have loved to see the Gasol brothers play like real minutes together. That would have been kind of cool. I don't know if they're winning the championship, but just like we watched them play against each other in the All-Star game. We saw them play internationally for their country, so that would have been cool.
I wish we would have got the Chris Paul, Kobe Bryant team up. I mean, it eventually ended up being Steve Nash, and Steve Nash is just way past his prime. But Kobe and CP, I feel like that's another ring right
there. My GOAT would have a ring right now.
Yeah.
And you couldn't deny that he would be top 3 in point guards of all time at that point.
Can't blame him.
I'm kind of on the same thing as Mike. I want to see Chris Paul or Darren Williams with Dwight Howard.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wanted to see him over there. There was rumors that Dwight was going to go to Brooklyn and stuff like that. Never happened, but Dwight with one of those point guards, I would have liked that.